word? What's Gucci with it, YouTube? Veterans Military, back again with another banger. And as promised, here is one of a few video series that I promise y'all with the breakdown of the new DBQs as well as what to expect in these C&P exams. I appreciate the likes on the last video. We got the 250, the goal. We got past that. We sitting at 570, almost 600. Hey, I appreciate it if y'all, get this video 275 likes. Let's see if we can do that. And hey, as always, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions on this topic, and let's dive into it balls deep, baby. So I'll probably do a 5 video series, maybe 7, but the DBQs for these new digestive issues are very extensive, very detailed, and they are separated and categorized as well. So the first one we're going to be talking about today is going to be intestinal issues, mainly focusing on the IBS. Now, there's a lot of room for error when it comes to the DBQ, because the DBQ really only states or really only touches on IBS in one little baby section. However, it's the medical evidence you supply is what's going to get you service connected, number one, then get the highest VA disability rating possible for this, which is going to be 30%. So, first this is just a look at the DBQ. It was updated January 2024. However, it was just published. It was just released to us peasantry, on May 19th when everything got taken care of. And this is mainly for all my booty hole goblins. Diagnosis. Any diagnosis pertaining to intestinal issues is going to be captured in here. If it's outside of what's being listed on this DBQ. And some of the things that are being listed on the DBQ includes irritable bowel syndrome. Then we got inflammatory bowel disease, chronic hepatitis, Crohn's disease, and then stuff like that. And this is a 12-page DBQ. So just keep in mind that these videos are going to be detailed. It's going to break down, but it's going to have to be a lot of different videos just due to the amount and the level of information that's on these DBQs, the information I'm trying to give y'all, as well as just trying to, keep the video fun, short, sweet, just so you can, get an understanding and grasp that concept. Now, looking at this, we got veteran diagnosis. Okay, claimed issue. Obviously, you're going to need the ICD or the diagnostic code associated with whatever intestinal disease or disability you are trying to get service connected. It can be one, it can be many. The DBQ does, like I stated earlier, it has pre-designated disabilities on this list. However, if you have anything that's outside of what's being available on this DBQ, you can always list them in 1A in that first section. Moving on from that one. Now we got the irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, aka booty hole goblins up. They see me, I'm down. You know what I'm talking about? And this is really the only section on this DBQ that's the VA is looking for information. And if you look very closely, all of this information is associated with which VA disability rating will you be receiving, as well as are you going to get service connected. Now, 3A, does the veteran have irritable bowel syndrome, chronic, whatever that word is? I'm not a doctor. Functional digestive disorder or similar condition? Yes. Okay, Gucci motherfucking killers. You know what I'm talking about? That's going to get you service connected. Now, we got frequency of abdominal pain related to defecation. That's pretty much whenever you have a bowel movement, anything in your abdominal area, and then it results immediately in you hitting them porcelain walls, that is a movement. That's the information in 3B the VA is looking for. Moving on to 3C, signs and symptoms. We got change in stool frequency, change in stool form, altered stool passage, straining or urgency, meaning it's either you gotta like force it to come out or it's just flying out. It's flying out. You know what I'm talking about. Marocria. I'm probably saying that, I don't know why I'm trying to say it with like a Hispanic accent. That's what it seems like. But we're not a doctor. Abdominal bloating, subjective distension, or other. Now, all of this information seems familiar. It seems very familiar. Why? because it's straight from the CFR 38. All of this information, the only thing that's really changing is the frequency between 10 to 30%. Abdominal pain, it's either going to be once in 3 months, defecation for at least 3 days per month, or once per week. The only thing that's changing is the frequency in which you have a bowel movement associated with abdominal or stomach distress, and then going on from there. So you got to keep it in mind. And when it comes to any of these service connections, any of these VA ratings for IBS, whether it be 10, 20, or 30, the main thing, main thing you should be focusing on is the frequency. The second are symptomology. And for all of these, you just need 2 or more. 2 or more. You don't need every single symptom that's on, that's in the CFR 38 that the VA is looking for. If it does, hey, more the power. Power to you. It's going to help you build that claim. It's going to get you service connected a lot easier than if you were, if you only had 2. And the VA says you just need 2. You never know the VA. We never know. So with that being said, let's go back to the DBQ. And just going off, Section 3, irritable bowel syndrome. Okay, we got some check marks. Cool. Does the veteran have irritable bowel syndrome? Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he or she does. Gucci. Going on to 3B. What is the frequency? Now, for me, almost every other day. So I'm definitely going to get that 30%. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm documenting. I'm using my phone. I'm reporting to my doctor. Any, app on my phone, whatever the case may be. If I got to take a picture, if there's any blood in the stool, take pictures, whatever the case may be. The pictures, all this information is going to help build medical evidence to get you service connected and or get you increased. So you definitely got to do your homework. Move on from there. Signs and symptoms. The CFR 38 says you just need 2 or more of these symptoms. However, if you do have more, make sure that they are checked. You do not want to be, you don't want to be going into a CMP exam potentially or submitting a VA disability claim for IBS and not have all this information. It's best to have overwhelming medical evidence. And the frequency is mainly what's going to get you 10, 20, or 30%. So how do you capture that? How do you get that? You definitely got to make sure that you are complaining to your doctor. Make sure that they are documenting this information down in your medical treatment record. Regardless if you're going to a private care provider or VA medical provider, doesn't matter. Make sure that you're getting these complaints into the system. If you, one way or another, that's going to be more information added to your diagnosis. So whenever you do submit that claim, it's going to be like, okay, cool, Gucci. At Devo, he had X, Y, and Z. He had changed his stool frequency for the last 6 months. Then he had changed his stool form for the last 4 months. Cool. He had altered stool passage for the last year. And we've been tracking that. We've been on and off of different types of medication and treatments. You definitely want to get detailed with it. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not a pretty business dealing with the back door. You know what I'm talking about. But if you're trying to get paid for it, you got to do it. You got to take care of it. Do the research, do the medical evidence, do the research, build your medical evidence, complain, get your ass into the doctor, literally, to build this medical evidence, get that diagnosis, and get all of these different diagnostic testing information needed in order to get service connected. Now, and some of the actual diagnostic testing that VA is looking for includes endoscopy, radiographic studies such as MRI or CT scan, biopsy, or any other type of diagnostic testing. As well as when it comes to blood work, the VA will definitely be looking for obtaining either during a CMP, compensation and pension exam, or within the time period of the VA's choosing. I haven't seen that information in the M21-1 adjudication manual yet of how long or what's the lapse time between the blood work in which you can submit to the VA that can be utilized for any consideration for service connection. But that's what the VA is going to be looking for. And you got to keep in mind, it's only that small little section. It's only that small little section on the DBQ. So what does that mean? CMP exams could be shortened. It could be decreased. However, you definitely want to make sure that you're capturing all of the foundations and the tenets of a good VA disability claim. What's that going to be? Okay, if you're trying to go for direct service, have in-service complaints. Build off of that. Current treatment, current diagnosis. If you didn't have any diagnosis for your military time, diagnostic testing, MRI, CAT scan, colonoscopy. You definitely gotta get that taken care of. And so on and so forth. But hey, that's it. That's all I got for y'all. I know y'all been waiting on this video. I know it's only been like 24 hours. But like I said, this is going to be a series of videos just because the DBQs are extensive. Just with this DBQ alone, there's 12 pages. And there's about 7 or 8 different subsections. I will be covering the rest of those disabilities in the next video in this series. And I will be breaking it down. Recommendations, information, stuff like that. As always, you got any comments, let your boy know. Like the video if you learned anything. It doesn't cost you anything to like the motherfucking video. Let's get it to 275. Keep this series going. You know what I'm talking about. And until next time, this Debo out. Y'all stay Gucci with it. Peace and love, baby.